It's not, but that'd be funny. So I quick brain dump of, I just took this in 3 minutes, of a couple types of business posts, right? We had talked about being multidimensional. We don't want your entire feed to look like this, right? Just listed, just sold, open house, stories of your experience, unique selling propositions. These are like the products that we use, things that make us unique over others. Buyer or seller advice, market updates, Q&A, neighborhood or community guides, tips and tricks, infographics, things from KCM. These are things that we definitely want on your social. These are things we definitely don't want only to show on your social. Does that make sense? Anyone else? What I know I missed 100,000 things here. Can anyone think of other types of business posts that you think would build that know, like, and trust and credibility for you as a professional? Yeah.
Testimonials.
Damn it. As soon as you raise your hand, I'm like, don't say testimonials, because I want to add that next. Testimonials is 100% right. That's great. And you can do this. JC, I think I've seen you do this. I think I've seen Steve do this. I think I've seen you do it, Tina, where you actually take a review from Google or Zillow. Casey used to do it as well. Put it in a Canva template and then post it. That way you have consistency in brand. You can show it. It's beautiful. I love it. It's fantastic. That's a great one.
So I was like, it must be up there.
I don't think it is. It should have been number one, but it didn't put up there. Thanks for calling me out, Danny. So also personal posts. So you're like, all right, well, I don't want to just put a bunch of business posts up there. What do I post? Who are you? Who are you as a person? And what is your brand? And I think they said this at Tom Ferry. He said, whether it's intentional or not, you have a brand. And your brand might be the annoying guy that only talks about his photography business every time you send a message to someone. That's not a good brand. I've been there. It's not. So who are you? What is your voice? What do you sound like? What do you believe in? What do you love? What do you hate? What does your face look like? This is important. I know we all make fun of people, not all of us, but I know people get made fun of for selfies, and I get that, but you can do it without doing right? You don't have to do duck face selfie, but put your face on there. They're going to be working with your face throughout the terms of a transaction, right? You don't show up and like, oh, I'm just going to put a mask over my own entire face and like people see your face. So show your face on social. Also, this is a really easy way. Again, when you're like, I don't know what to post. I want to post a personal post. The last 3 I've done were business posts. Think about the 4 Fs: family, fun, or fashion, fun, and fitness. There's another one. I can't remember what Kyle says. He's not here, so he won't tell me. But those are pretty simple 4 Fs. So when you're like, well, I put philanthropy. It wasn't that. And for spelling. Except philanthropy, which is that was that. But so think about how can you post about your family? And is your family, do you have kids? Do you have no kids? Do you have pets? Do you have show your house? Like you can be like, oh well, I'm not dating anyone. Show a photo of you out with your friends. That's your family, right? Well, maybe he said friends. That would be a good one. Whatever. Fashion is really popular. Adrian can do it. I cannot do fashion posts. We can do a who wore it better, and I'll lose every time. Fun. Again, this is out and about. What are you doing? What do you like to do? And again, not only what are you doing, you can also think about, you can share other people's posts, or this is my favorite, ask a question. Hey, what are you guys doing this weekend? Hey, I want to go. I'm doing a date night I'm doing a double date night. What are you guys' favorite ideas for double dates? That stuff works really well because you're engaging.
When you say posts, are you talking about where?
At this point, I'm talking about content in general. Anything that's going from 0 to something.
I'm also curious about what actually lands, like in terms of like going live or stories or posts on your feed.
And so Clayton's asking what actually lands, and we're going to talk about each platform in a second and kind of how they're unique. But I'm going to give you an answer that I don't really like. And it's going to be, it depends on your audience. Because your audience, Clayton, is very different than my audience. Would you agree?
I don't know who my audience is.
But you do, right? Well, like your tribe.
I know JC looks at my stuff. I watch it.
There you go. But like your audience, and if you don't know who your audience is, when you talk about posting to the 5 a.m. club, you can see on your story who views your stories. You can see who likes your posts. You can see who comments. You can see who's engaging with you. But you also kind of have an idea. Your friend group is different than my friend group. And it's different than Brandy's and different than Julio's. Like we're different people. So what really lands if you said, if we both did this post, it's going to get different engagement, right? If I said, I'm looking to go for a psychedelic adventure this summer, where should I go? My friends will say Disneyland, Ghirardelli's. We're going to say different things than what Clayton's friends. Would you agree? Clayton's gonna be like, Joshua Tree, I got you stuff like
Paul Johnson.
Yeah, mine is right. Paul. Okay, maybe you guys talk about your guys' tribe. Maybe it might be similar, but my tribe's gonna be very different. They're like, there's a new cat cafe. I'm like, what's up? So what hits best is gonna be.
You can look at your insights.
You can look at insights as well.
It really breaks it down. Like,
So I've been going live every day at 9 o'clock
Yep.
in the morning, and I'm just curious. I just don't know what's a waste of time and what's not. You know what I mean?
Tammy Pack. Is anyone familiar with Tammy Pack? She's an agent in Fredericksburg. She's very good. You should look her up if you want to see a good mix of personal and business. She does phenomenal. She talks about this idea of unicorns and donkeys. And you don't know what's going to be a unicorn, what's going to blow up, what's going to engage, what's going to hit really well. And you don't know what's going to be a donkey until after you post it. And so what they say is they post the stuff, whatever works good, go all in on that. Promote it, post more like it, that type of stuff. And you don't know what's like. Literally, I remember it was one of the early episodes of Everything East County, or East County Eats. We drive up to a Mexican food shop. I love Mexican food shops. It's a shitty Mexican food shop, right? I was talking with the owner's son, who was big into social media. He runs a store up in LA. He's like, okay, we were talking the same language. It was going to be great. I was so stoked. I get there a little early. I talk with the son and he goes, yeah, I'm not going to do it. My mom's going to do it. Okay, cool. Talk with mom. She barely speaks English. I don't speak much Spanish. Hola, biblioteca. That's all I got, right? And so I'm like, this is going to be fun. I literally go in the car and I call my wife. This is the only time I've ever done this for the show. And I said, this episode is going to suck. The lady doesn't speak English. Her son isn't going to be here. Kyle's running late. He was. My camera got all. It was just a shitty day. I was pissed. We did the episode. It was fine. I edited it. It was fine. Within 4 days, we had 100,000 views. I was like, I'm an idiot. I did everything wrong and it hit. So you just got to try things. Some things will work and some things will not. But from what I've learned.
Yeah, I put it on IGTV, and then I take my 90, the ones I like, then I chop that up to the reels, and then that's the content post. If I go live for like 3 minutes and get 45 seconds.
YouTube page and just post them all there.
I don't.
you could test different times of the day too, and then see which one.
Right.
The things that I find work the absolute best, Clayton, are really your successes and your failures. And this is personally, this is professionally, this is like tell the story. I know Cody did this at Media Day. He did a really good job of telling the story of his clients. Got listing, really excited, 3 weeks, or he got an offer, really excited, fell apart, 2 weeks happened, no offers. And then he used Zillow and he had more offers and he blah, 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 and ta-da, like telling the story, telling successes and failures. Literally the most engaging posts that for me personally, are when I got married and when my dad died. Those are the two biggest posts that I've seen. So I'm not recommending, but you'll see, share your vulnerability, share your humanness, share your life. Those are going to be the things that hit the hardest. Make sense?
Can I ask one more question?
No.
Please.
Please. Clayton has another question.
So, this may be like even a demographic thing or generational thing. I see it when it comes to like Instagram. Sometimes I see like maybe more younger crowd, younger millennials. It's like the wall. It's like the feed is like super nice and has an aesthetic. There's the same filter and all that stuff. And then I also,
AKA Tina's.
right. And then I also
Tina's is gorgeous.
So then I go to the ones that like on the Tom Ferry group, and it's like whatever. It's maybe Monday, right? She's like 80,000 people following all of her live stuff, and it's just in Kyle too, because it's just like these random posts and there's no aesthetic on the wall. And I find myself I'm like getting caught up in like trying to make it all look at. People don't even like, look at these as much as they do the live stuff.
So this is my opinion, and I guarantee it's going to be different than Tina's. my opinion is and maybe this is just how I use Instagram, but I rarely go to a person's profile. I scroll through the feed. I don't even use Discover at all. I just scroll through what my friends are doing. And then I look at stories. I don't look at a person's their homepage. That's not how I consume it. That's how I would assume most people are consuming it. I think if you have that aesthetic and if that brings you joy, right, of building that and making it look good. And I had another friend, her name was Megan. She's like, oh, you got to have your grid on point. I'm like, look, if that's what's important, okay, good. We have the same opinion. If that's what you like and that's what brings you joy and that's what you want, then go for it. But I'm not spending any time personally or on Whissel making our grid look photo, video, hashtag. Like I'm not doing that. We're trying to put out content that's valuable.
But that asses that are like Insta people, that's what they do. Also, so I'm just curious about that. Would you agree with that?
I'm in the middle. I think a good mix. One thing you don't want to do is you don't want to be posting pictures that have so much text on it because it just looks like there's just too much going on. So like some of the infographics are just kind of like like there's just too much going on. Whereas if you post a picture and then that could be the second slide, something like that. But I agree, like most people don't look at it as a whole. Like they're looking at what you're posting recently. So I wouldn't stress over what it looks like. The reason why mine looks like that is because it's brand new. I just started it.
Yeah, and again, some people like that. Some people want it to look like that, and that's how they organize their life, and that's how it works in their content calendars. It looks like that, and they go. It's easier for me if I know I'm going to make a personal post on Monday, a business post on Tuesday, an infographic on Wednesday, and repeat the cycle. And that's just what I want to do. So it's just how people's brains work. If you want to do it, cool. If it's preventing you from creating content, stop. Is that fair?
Yeah, Marky Lemon, she does a lot about this, and it's so intentional to make your grid look like that, you may lose your personality.
And yeah, so Tom said it's a lot of work doing that. You may lose your personality, your authenticity, your timeliness, right? If you wanted to do a video about Zillow, stop buying homes, you're like, oh shit, well, Thursdays and when I do videos, then you're losing some of that momentum. No. You had one more question. That was it.
So I post live, and then I'll like remove it 24 hours later from my feed and go to like IGTV, so I'll still have the full feed clutter.
Sure, I like that idea because then you're getting, who said it earlier? You're repurposing the content. You're getting more juice from the orange, right? You only created that one thing, but now it showed up as live, and then it went away, and now it showed up as IGTV. So people that may not have seen it before, you're staying top of mind.